the cyber Okay, so we'll proceed now. So I welcome you all to today's session. It's great to have you all here. Thank you for that where I stopped. So my name is Fransica, and I will be your moderator for this web topic is how to break into the cybersecurity industry. So if you are here and you've been thinking how you into the cybersecurity industry, you've been frustrated, you've been confused, don't worry. After this session, you would gain clarity and direction. So we have put together this session to give you clear direction and help you move forward in this industry with confidence. All right. So before we begin, I will briefly introduce our speaker for today, the person of Mercy Ogah. She's a cybersecurity analyst. So I will be reading her profile short when it's up here. Victor, can you bring up that so I can read the guess well. Okay, very, very much. So this is our lead mentor. Okay, anyone. I can start with anyone. Okay, so I will be reading out our speaker profile, the profile of our guest speaker. So her name is Mercy Diligence Ogah. She is a cybersecurity analyst with over 4 years of experience in SOC operations, threat intelligence, and incident and investigating security events to uncover threats and strengthen organizational security posture with experts spanning across network, cloud, application security, and AI-driven security approaches. She holds multiple industry-recognized certifications, including certified among others. Mercy is also published researcher publication titled Machine Learning Models for Heterogeneous Network Security Anomaly Detection, where she explores how machine learning can be applied to the anomalies in complex network environments. Beyond her technical work, she has guided and supported many aspiring cybersecurity professionals, helping them build confidence and practical skills. She has guided and supported many aspiring cybersecurity professionals, practical skills, and breaking into cybersecurity. She holds a first-class degree in computer science and is committed to continuous learning, innovation, and contributing to the growth of the cybersecurity space. Guys, please, you guys should be clapping. This is amazing. Easy and just anticipate the session because it's going to be blowing. Me myself, I mean a lot. Okay, please, the next slide. So I will read the profile of our lead mentor, our host, our amazing host, Mr. Victor Akinode. Victor Akinode is a seasoned techpreneur with a first-class degree in computer engineering and a career that spans cybersecurity consulting, AI engineering, and data-driven fintech innovation. He's a co-founder of Telnet, a subsidiary,
This meeting is being recorded.
Of Finafex Limited, where he leads the development of smart financial technology that help businesses extract actionable insights from their financial and security events data. Previously, Victor served as a cybersecurity consultant at KPMG, Nigeria, specializing in vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. So compliance, data protection, and privacy driven platforms helped organizations safeguard their data. As Vino Technologies Limited, a software engineer, building secure data-centric solution that fuse AI with product development. Her also has deep experience in natural language process, a German-based grassroots of there he continued the building and developing multi-language techniques. He's a prolific builder and researcher. Victor has developed and managed over 400 professionals. Wow. And continues to mentor emerging tech talents across Africa, the VA community, a fast-growing, aspiring cybersecurity and AI professional. Guys, you guys should be clapping. Thank you so much. Okay, so you have to come deliver. I would call Mr. Victor Akinode, our host. Mr. Victor, over to you.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, so much. Thank you so much for the introduction, Fransica. Good day, everyone. Good evening. Good afternoon. From everywhere you've been listening, or wherever you are listening. I'm really glad this call because this topic really speaks directly. How do I actually break into cybersecurity? I can't count the number of DMs I've gotten about this. Please, can you mentor me? I'm just the roadmap. How can I break in? Yeah, a lot of people are learning cybersecurity today. And considering the fact that we are recording a new breach almost every week now, so it's something serious. This is a very good market, right? Or a very good industry that people are trying to look into right now. So a couple of persons that are trying to get into this industry are taking courses, practicing labs. They're even earning certifications, right? But despite all of that effort, many of them still feel stuck. When it comes to getting this, yeah, I've faced it as well, and I know what it really means. I mean, I know what the experience can feel like or what the experience is like. Breaking into cybersecurity is not just about learning tools or completing course. It is about understanding how the industry, about knowing how to move from learning to actually being considered for opportunities. And this is what today's session is about. I know that our speaker is well prepared to deliver um, on that. And as much as I've known her, and as much as I've known our webinars, considering the past ones, the session of the past sessions and even particular to be just a session, all right? So it's not something that is going to just be filled with theories or general advice. It's going to be something that would give you clarity, right? So it will help you understand what actually matters, what you should focus on, and what might be holding you back without you even realizing it. Whether you're a complete beginner, or maybe you're someone transitioning from another field, maybe you are into finance, you are in methodology, you are in banking, product management, and you want to transition into cybersecurity, this is the right place. You are going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot. This session is for you. So I just want you to be intentional about how you listen today. Please take notes, and honestly, whenever you can, try to drop your questions. I don't know the modality for the speaker. If you want to and ask questions, you can raise it. If you want to probably drop your question in the Q&A section, maybe when she's done, she's going to attend to all of those questions. Drop that as well. So I'm saying this because sometimes one shift in understanding something properly can just change your entire direction. So you need to understand what is being said, and if there is anything that is not clear to you, please be able to answer questions. So you didn't need to have everything figured out today, but you need to start moving with clarity, and that clarity is what this webinar is all about. So thank you so much for having me. Yeah, thank you, Francisca.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, our lead mentor. Thank you for that. Miss Messi, can you come up now? I guess speaker, guys, please let's give her a digital clap, please. It's over to you. Thank you. Okay, we can hear you. I don't know if it's just me. Okay, we still can't hear it. Maybe now. Well, we could also be the okay. What we wait for our guest to fix her mic. Okay. Okay, guys, please, in case you have a question, I know the session. Okay, someone's mic is on and I'm hearing myself. Please, can you mute? Please, let's mute. Thank you. So, if you have a question ahead, please drop it on the chat. Once the guest starts delivering her session, please let's all be muted, and whatever question we can take note of it. And when once it's Q&A session, we'll carry on. All right. Okay.
Okay, guys.
Let me.
All right, thank you so much, Francisca. Prior to, because we are trying to get in touch with our speaker to know what is, wrong at her hand. I think she's facing some technical problems. So in the interim, I want to quickly tell you guys a quick story about myself. Considering the fact that there is a mentorship happening very soon, and many people will be wondering, because one of the questions I've gotten in the past about the mentorship and breaking into cybersecurity in general is that how is it, is it something that I would have to learn something technical about? Do I need to learn how to write code? Do I need to maybe get a certification, or maybe graduate, maybe have a computer science certificate or an IT related certificate? I've heard many questions like that, and I've seen many things too in this journey. And though when I was starting out, I studied computer engineering, but studied computer, and after finishing school, I began to look at what I can do as well. Prior to finishing school, I've been really have something few that time. So I've been writing code, yeah, in my own littlest way. Then when I finished or when I left school, it's dawned on me that maybe the software engineering might not really take me to where I want to be. Maybe I need to do more, or maybe I need to find more, right? But along the line, I saw cybersecurity and I found cybersecurity. I'm still going to tell you what brought me to cybersecurity later. But when I found cybersecurity, one thing that I struggled with so much then was this issue of trying to figure things out all by myself, right? I would have things I was reading. Uh, as of that, you had already or leading some things from you be someone who has been building stuff, who has, and you're now coming to an organization and they are telling you that the meeting note, the meeting notes or the notes of the meeting, you'll be the one to take it. Sometimes it will even be after the meeting, or probably they had the meeting and you're not around. They will ask you to go and listen to the recording and take note of the entire thing. So it's something that was very, very stressful for me. I was just like, oh, what's all of this? But it was part of the learning, right? So after interning with the organization, I learned a couple of things. And to be honest with you, nobody was there to say, this is it. This is what you should do. This is what we should do. This is what you should do. Go about it this way. They will just assign a task to you, and then you come on meetings, you want to talk, and they would just want to listen to you. So I loved it. I'm looking back now, I can say I love it because it's put me on my toes, right? It's really, really put me on my toes then, because no one was there to say, oh, this is how to do it, go about it this way. Even though maybe they were providing directions, but just handling you as someone who already had the knowledge, right? But looking back, I'm going to say thank you to them. Why? Just because they made me learn. They made me go extra mile to learn a lot of things on my own. And that was the problem. All right. That was the problem we saw that gave birth to VA webinar. That was the problem we saw that gave birth to the VA mentorship that is going to start, in a couple of weeks. That was the problem we saw because I experienced it, and I know that a couple of persons are experiencing it as well. In fact, I have someone reached out to me recently and was telling me that I have written my CC certification, and the person passed it, and it was like, I don't know the roadmap. I don't. What exactly do I want to do next? I'm just seeing this everywhere. I'm seeing that everywhere, and this is someone who happens to be my friend as well. I was just like, okay, fine, do this, do this, do this, and it's clear. Like the direction is clear for him, right? So people need this roadmap. People need to know how to properly enter into this space. A lot of people have entered, and the way they rushed in was the way they rushed out. Why? Just because there were no proper plan. They do not have proper roadmap. They do not have, direction on how to go about things. So people just want to wake up today and then start something in cybersecurity. Oh, they say cybersecurity is the next big thing. Me go into it and let me just go and do this. And if they are saying cybersecurity is the next big thing, are they lying? I wouldn't say yes, and I wouldn't say no. But if I would answer it directly from my end, I would say that cybersecurity is the future. And I've always been telling people around me that the reason why cybersecurity is the future is pretty much because the future of innovation is AI. And the future of AI is depending solely on security and safety. So if tools are not safe, if innovations are not secure, if whatever you are building, launching, and trying to put out there are not safe for people to use, they are not going to use it. In fact, they are going to create a lot of policies against it. They're going to bring up regulations. They are going to tell you that this does not mean so regulation. This does not mean so standard. This does not mean so policy. So you need to probably scrap it, or our citizens, our people, employees cannot use this. So your product, your innovation, as much as you want to innovate in the future, your innovation, your product, whatever you want to do, must still go hand in hand with security. You can see recently we had Vercel breach. I don't know if some of you guys know Vercel. So Vercel is just a platform where you can host your code. They do beyond that, but that is just the summary I can give. And they were breached, right? And how did they get breached? An employee wanted to sign up on a particular platform called context.ai, right? So the person is using the company's account, the company's email address, right? And as it was using the company's email address to register, it was registering with Google account. You know the way you wanted to register, and they said that register with Google, and the employee used to register with Google. And after using register with Google, what you are doing, even at the point of doing that, what you are doing is that you're giving access to see a particular notification telling you that do you want also to have access to this, and you're going to consent and say yes. So he said yes, and boom, the attacker was able to capture the entire thing from there. Then from there they entered into their network, and right now they are selling their what's it called, resources and everything they got from that group of hackers, or should I say a threat actor called Shiny Hunters, that is already selling that right now. So imagine $2 million for their data, right? And you guys already know that data is the next big thing, right? Like it is just the future of everything. Is the oil. So that these are just some of the reasons why people are interested in breaking into cybersecurity, or some of the reasons why people are breaking into cybersecurity, right? And trying to come back to the story I was telling, right? When I experienced all of this, I was like, oh, this struggling to try to figure things out. A point came where I became a script kiddie. A script kiddie is somebody who will just have a script or get a script. He doesn't know what the script is doing. He just wants to run the script to just see what it can do and all of that. So because there was no proper guidance, there was no direction, there was nobody to help, there was nobody to say, oh, this is how to get about this. And that was what birthed, or what gave birth to the VA webinars we are doing today, and what gave birth to the mentorship that is going to happen in the coming weeks, right? So now coming back into how to properly break into cybersecurity, I've been trying to use my story to maybe um, to how do I put it, to explain this particular journey to you, so that you'll be able to understand it very well. Some people would say that to break in, you need to have technical experience. I had technical experience, pretty much. Yes, it's very, very good to have, right? But it is not compulsory, because when I was at KPMG, I had people then that graduated with I think FST. I've met one of my good friends in cybersecurity right now. She works at one of the top fintech in Nigeria. Um, she studied maybe psychology or physiology or something, right? So you don't need to have that technical experience. It's not compulsory. It's not compulsory. You just need to have the determination, and you need to be very resilient about what you want to do, because cybersecurity is going to stress you. You're going to face a lot of issues. You're going to face a lot of problems along the line. So if you do not get prepared, all right, prepare yourself for the future, prepare yourself for the rigorous task, prepare yourself for the time starts. You're going to break your lab, you're going to get stuck, you're going to read something and you're not going to understand. You're going to write the certification and you might fail it. If you're not preparing yourself for all of that, you might just check out.
Can
Just
everyone hear me?
um, who is that?
Okay, sorry, it's messy.
Okay. So yeah, let me just quickly wrap up. So you might just check in and check out just the way others who have been in this particular industry, have done in the past, right? So I'm just encouraging you that whatever our speaker will say today, please ensure that you grab it very well, right? So it's going to be something coming out of our experience, coming out of what she has done in the past, and coming out of, the place of, should I say, honesty, that I really want to help you. Because there are people who have gone ahead, all right, who are already, I heard of you, and they are not willing to help. And I will end my lead talk on this, and that is mentorship is very, very important, right? And that's the essence of doing here, because if you're getting a mentor, you are trying to say that, oh, the pits, the potholes, the struggles, want to face it. So if you're let's say I'm traveling now and I'm plying a particular road, and I have a friend of mine who has been plying that road almost every day, especially Nigerian roads. He knows where the potholes are, he knows where these are, he knows everything, right? So if I am following him, it is easy for me. If I'm behind him, right? If I'm trailing him, it's easy for me, because when he breaks down, then I break down as well. I know that, oh, there's something ahead, something must have been happening. That's why he's doing that. So that is just who a mentor is as well. All right. That is who a mentor is. Right. A mentor is someone who is coming to guide you. A mentor is someone who is there for you, always there for you. Oh, you need this, don't worry. You want to do this, you don't need to do it that way, do it this way. And I want you to see this session to be like a mentorship session, all right, not just a class that you just come and learn, right? So see it to be a mentorship session, because what is going to be coming out is more of a kind of, mentorship, right? So it's a kind of mentoring activity. So prepare yourself for it, brace up, um get your notes, get your writing materials, and ensure that you write. And please, I want to see you guys ask questions. Yeah, I want to hear your questions. I will be here as well, and I'll be willing to contribute to some of those questions. So thank you so much. And I think we can bring back Mercy to start the session or our presentation now. So please, let's celebrate Mercy as she comes to the stage. Thank you so much, guys. Mercy, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, good to hear, Mercy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm doing great.
All right, all right, all right.
All right. Francisca, are you there?
Yes, I'm
Oh,
here.
can you put up the slides, please?
Okay. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, does this work?
Yes, we can. I
Can you
think
see my screen?
it does work. Yeah,
Mm,
we can see the screen.
okay.
Are we still sharing your screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, thank you everyone for being here. Kindly move to the next slide as I proceed. Thank you. So, thank you
Okay.
everyone. No, we're still in the opening, obviously.
Okay, from here, I'm in the reality of cybersecurity. Is that not what you see?
I can't see your screen via my phone, so
Can anyone see my screen?
Yes, we all can see. I think it's because Mercy is joining our phone. Maybe that's the reason.
Okay. How about you okay, how about you maybe through your phone? You can open the slide on your phone and just be going through it. Me looking at the screen, I can tell where you are, and I just opened that particular page so the audience can follow. I don't know if you get me.
yeah, that works. That's fine.
So let's do it that way.
So, oh well, I believe we are. Can you all see me? Okay, so sorry for all the challenges we've been having. My apologies. That was not my intention in any way. But yeah, things like that happen. So, firstly, I have to thank all of you for being here. I'm really grateful for your presence. And today I'm going to walk you through how to break into cybersecurity and, more importantly, also sustaining your career as a cybersecurity professional. That is what we are going to be looking at today. So I'm not just going to be telling you how to start in cybersecurity, but also how to remain in cybersecurity, such that cybersecurity is not just, let me say, just something you do along the way and then you drop it as time goes on, or you are trying to build a sustainable career. That's what we're going to be doing today. And it's going to be very practical. I'm not here to necessarily motivate you or give you pep talk. I'm trying to tell you what you should do. And that if you actually use them, you actually become a very good cybersecurity professional. So yeah, let us look at the reality of cybersecurity. That is what cybersecurity really is, because sometimes we people that started almost especially have a different idea from what it is when you actually start working. So we need to firstly understand what cybersecurity actually is in terms of what you would be facing when you're starting out. So let me start with this, right? Cybersecurity is not usually the way we look at it from the get-go in terms of when we are starting. It's not just about hacking, it's not just about mastering tools, writing certificates and all whatnot that we are all very familiar with. A lot of it is going to be a lot of using your brain, a lot of analysis, a lot of sitting with logs, a lot of using your brain again. You're going to be very, very burnt out sometimes, especially if you're trying to give it your best. So you also have to keep that in mind. And you may actually suffer from imposter syndrome, but yeah, we'll talk about that much later. You also know how to make decisions even when you don't really understand the full picture yet. You're going to also learn that. And in the beginning, you feel very, very confused. You feel like you don't even know what you're doing. That's the truth. Because you actually do not know what you're doing. It's not just the feeling, you do not know what you're doing, because especially if you don't have a mentor, that's where it gets really worse, because you're just trying to do everything on your own. That is why I really agree with you when he emphasized largely on the need for a mentor when you're starting out in any career, actually, but cybersecurity most especially, because they feel that every single day you would see new things. Every day I work, I'm always seeing something new every single day. So it's not necessarily a routine job like most people's regular jobs. It's not routine. You'll have to be using your brain every single day. So that is the thing. You'll get confused at the very beginning, because even those that are at the top still get confused. So how much less you that is just starting out. But anyway, I just want you to know that you really go through a lot when you start, but that should not make you to like give up or say that it's not going to work or something like that, because that confusion is actually, are you with me? That confusion is actually a sign that you're actually starting to like see how the field works. So the next thing we're going to look at is why most people struggle to break into cybersecurity. Most of the time, we don't struggle because cybersecurity is difficult. Like cybersecurity in itself is difficult. You struggle because you don't have direction. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you want simply. You just heard everybody's going to cybersecurity and you said, ah, yes, I want to do it. And most of the time, you don't even have a why. What do I mean by a why? I mean the reason behind you deciding that this is what I want to do. Take me, for example, because I'm going to be putting in my own personal experiences, chipping it in as time goes on in the session, so you understand that I'm not just educating you. I knew I wanted to do cybersecurity from the very beginning, right from when I was in uni. So I did not do any other thing apart from cybersecurity. I studied computer science quite all right? But if my uni had cybersecurity, I would have done that. That is how very clear and early I knew what I wanted to do, right? But if you did not know early, that's also okay. But now that you've decided the cybersecurity that you want to do, what field in cybersecurity are you choosing? What exactly are you doing? Not that cybersecurity is broad. Even I don't know everything in cybersecurity. Nobody knows everything in cybersecurity. Even the CISOs don't. You just have to choose a particular path and focus on that path. So the struggle is mostly because of the lack of direction. From everything I've noticed, from people I've mentored, it's just lack of direction, which is also why the need for a mentor is largely emphasized. So because you do not have direction, you're jumping from one tool to the other, you're watching different tutorials that are just scattered, and it's just like so much information overload and you don't understand any single thing. You're collecting certificates because let's be very honest, right? to pass a certification exam is not that difficult. Let me explain. Sometimes some of the certification exams don't even labs and all of that. No, some of them is just you. So far as you can and you can understand that you can measure for a couple of hours, couple of days, you'll be able to pass it. So you a certificate, you being certified don't guarantee that you are particularly very good. That may not really sit well with people, but yeah, I just have to say that. So before you struggle or put in your best to get all the certificates, make sure that you at least know what you're doing. So that certificate is actually saying the truth about you and not just that you're collecting certificates because yes, that's what you're supposed to do, what you think you're supposed to do, because there's a huge difference between that. So the thing here is you need structure. You need to know how you want to break in and exactly that is literally the whole basis of these particular events to give you that clarity, to give you that understanding. So what I would say is, like I said before, lack of direction is the genesis of all the problems people have when they are breaking into cybersecurity. They don't have any structure, they don't even practice, and they don't have any proof of skill. You say you know how to do something. Where is your proof? Where is the evidence? Everybody says they know how to do stuff. Every day you go on LinkedIn, people post that they are doing stuff. They say they are doing stuff. But what is the proof that you're actually doing that thing you said you are doing? Where is it? Where can we see the proof? That is what people are looking for. And then when it's time to apply, there's nothing concrete to show. I know something I'm going to tell you, right? Cybersecurity is not like every other regular field that people just believe you when you say you can do something because it's critical. It's everything, even your character is very critical. If you're a liar, that's very bad. Like, let me explain what I mean by that. Because there are some fields, right? Generally, they are not really critical. If maybe now, for example, now you're a software engineer. I'm not trying to in any way look down on that because that's a very, very good field. What I'm saying is it's not as critical as cybersecurity analyst, or let me say a website developer and all of that, right? It is if something goes wrong, someone can immediately replace you, someone can immediately fix that problem. But with cybersecurity, there's a huge once something goes wrong, right? It disrupts the business, it disrupts operation, you lose money, everybody feels it. So because of that, people don't want to put their business risk their business on someone that they cannot trust, which is why getting a job in cybersecurity can be difficult because people, first of all, need to know that they trust you, which is why you have to show evidence. You cannot just say you know something. You have to keep showing that, yes, I actually know this thing, especially when you're starting out, when you have no experience, that people can actually say, okay, maybe he's worked here, she's worked there. No, no, no. So you need that evidence. That is something that you should know. So now moving forward, we are going to be looking at the cybersecurity landscape. When I talk about the cybersecurity landscape, I'm talking about what is cybersecurity even made of? What is the cybersecurity we keep talking about? What constitutes cybersecurity as a whole? Well, I like to look at it in three different parts. Me personally, you can look at it to be longer, but like I'm just saying, it makes it easier for me, makes it better for me to understand. It's worked for me, people that I've mentored in the past. So yeah, I look at it in the team, that's defense, monitoring, detection, responding. That is those that are trying to defend the systems. And that's why I fall on that because I'm a SOC analyst. So what I do is basically blue team operations, right? The second part is the red teamers. Those are those that offensive. That's where you have the ethical hackers and the ones a lot of you may fantasize about hack and all of that. So yeah, those are the ones that simulate attacks in environments, basically see how it would actually be if a real attacker is trying to break into the system. And then we have GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. And this is like people that have to do with making sure the organization complies to regulatory bodies, you name it, various frameworks and the like, ISO standards and the likes, right? So now these are the three parts. And the thing is, you don't have to know everything or even understand everything at once, especially when you're starting out. But you need to know exactly where you're going. You need to know which of you, within these three now, you need to decide which one resonates with me. So the first thing you need to understand is the most basic meaning or like the most basic thing about what these people do. And I told you before, blue team, they are the defenders. They defend the systems. Red teams, they are the offenders. And they're not offenders in a bad way like attackers. You know, what they're doing is basically simulating attacks to see how the environment to react if real attackers actually try to hack them. And then we have the GRC. People like to think that GRC is the most easiest. But anyway, that is up to you to find out. So yeah, let's look at choosing your own path. And this is the path that I'm going to spend quite a while, because this path is very, very critical to who you would become. Because it can be very easy to say you want to start something, but you need to be able to sustain that thing, right? And a key part of your sustaining that thing would be if you actually enjoy that thing you're doing. So you need to choose something that you enjoy. You need to choose something that you know that at least you would like. If you do not like cybersecurity, you cannot do it. If you're in cybersecurity because you heard it pays well, you are not going to like it. You're not going to remain in it, because there's so many other fields that pay well. I promise you, there are so many other fields that pay very well. So many other things you can do with your life that often pay you way more. So choosing cybersecurity should not be based on what you heard, or based because you like it. That might sound very cliche, but yeah, you should actually like it. Yes, you should like money. Everybody does like money, but I'm saying you should have some level of passion for what you're doing before you can actually do very well at it. That's what I'm emphasizing, right? So in choosing your own path, right, you just need to know that you need to pick one direction and go very deep in it. You can decide, okay, I want to be a SOC analyst. What the SOC analysts do? They monitor. They are monitoring day and night. They run on shifts. Are you ready to run on a shift? Are you ready to work in the night as well? Are you ready to miss holidays? Are you ready to do your Christmas in the office? Or even if it's remotely, but are you ready to do those things? You will think about these things as well. You think about the actual work that comes in. You think about the fact that you have to use your eyes, you have to use your brain, you have to be very alert. Then you look at threat intelligence. Are you ready to do threat hunting? Are you ready to create use cases? Are you ready for those things? Those are the things you have to look at. So among all of these parts, right, we have cloud security as well. We have application security. We have pen testers. Those are the red team. My point is, these are the various examples of various paths you can choose. There are so many more, but these are the few that I decided to like put up in my slides, right? What I'm saying is, among all of these, there are so many more that you can check online. You would see. You have to choose which one resonates with you the most. You have to choose which one resonates with you the most. And if nothing resonates with you, maybe cybersecurity is not for you. There's no two ways about it. Maybe it's actually not the fit for you. And if you try out a different tech path, it might just be the best option, right? I do not like, it's usually, it's not even about what I like, right? It's more about even what works in the real world. If you start in cybersecurity and you're not doing well, like you start a job or you start, a role, right? People easily notice. It's very easy to spot when you're not doing good, or when you're not good at your job. I'm not talking of when you're still in training. No, I'm talking about when you don't enjoy what you're doing. People notice very fast. And in cybersecurity, like I said, it's something that is critical. So you don't want to, nobody even wants to put their business at risk to someone they do not trust. So you need to make sure that what you're doing, you actually, at the very least, you enjoy it. So now, for me, like I said, I focused on stock operations because I know that that's what I like. I like doing it, and it's something I've always been doing. That is where cybersecurity took me, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So, and even in my SOC, it's still, I'm not just doing SOC alone. I still do threat intelligence and incident response. It kind of go like hand in hand as well. I've also gone into like becoming a cybersecurity instructor over a couple of years. And it didn't actually start because I wanted to be fair. That just started because a lot of people reached out to me, or how do I start cybersecurity? Companies reached out for me to tutor for them. And then I just found myself doing it, and I was really loving it, enjoying it. And people were actually getting impacted, starting the cybersecurity careers. And I said, oh yeah, this could actually become a very good career path for me. And then I've taken it up as well. But firstly, I'm a cybersecurity analyst anyway. So now let's go to the more serious aspects of this, right? How do you gain experience without a job? How can you gain experience without a job? Because let's face the reality, the job market is really, really, really something, right? And for you to navigate a market where so many people are trying to get a role, sometimes you see roles and then you're still like 1,000 applicants and they just need one person. And the probability of you being that one out of 1,000 is very, very, very low, right? Sometimes people even ask, who is even that one person? Because it's very difficult getting a job these days if you don't know the right way, because it can be easy, but then again, it depends. Personally, I have never, okay, let me put it better. All the jobs I've been doing in cybersecurity, generally, I've never had to apply for either of them. Most of them, all of them actually, people reach out to me to work with them. So you can position yourself in a manner that people will be the ones looking for you for jobs, and instead of the other way around. Because when it's the other way around, is already like 1-0. Do you understand? So you have to always be in a situation where you're on the winning side. But we'll get to that when I talk about building your personal brand and I talk about building a strong presence online. I hope we're all still here. Okay, is anyone asking any question? Please keep your questions for later. And then I'll go to just like put it down in the chat or something. And then after the session, I would go through your questions. Thank you. So, as I was saying, right, a lot of people don't have experience. A lot of people, when you're starting out, obviously you don't have experience, right? But experience is something you can actually start building now. Firstly, the first thing you will do, this is where you bring out your pen and paper. You'll set up a simple home lab. Setting up home labs are not difficult. You use platforms like TryHackMe, you use Hack the Box, you simulate scenarios, you even very basic scenarios. People like to see when people create something. People like to see. Please, can you be muted? I'm hearing. Please kindly mute yourself. Thank you. Okay, so as I was saying, you need to simulate scenarios, right? You need to build evidence online. You need to show people that you know what you're doing. So for you to have that experience without actually doing the job, this is where all of this practical exercises come to play. You create a home lab, you use platforms like TryHackMe, use platforms like Hack the Box. These are very popular platforms, global platforms that everybody is very familiar with in the cybersecurity space. If you're not familiar with, you can Google it, search on it, and you can register and start making use of them. You simulate very, very basic scenarios. People, even if it's something very, very small, something very, very basic, people like to see that you did something. That people just like to see that you did something. You make a video, you create something, people like to see it. People like to see work and the outcomes. People like to see results. That's what people love to see everywhere, every time. Every you and I, that's the same thing we love to see. So you have to always make sure that you're giving, and even apart from giving people what they want to see, you're building yourself, right? You are building yourself, because saying that you can do something, like I said before, is very different from actually knowing how to do that thing. So you have to make sure that before you start trying to apply for jobs, right, you actually have something to offer. You cannot be without something to offer and then you're looking for a job. It would not come. Like there's no two ways about it. It would, and even if it comes, you're not going to do well at it. And most likely you're still going to replace you. So I feel like whenever you're starting, despite the need for a job, which I know that is very, very, very necessary, very important, especially when you're starting out, cybersecurity aside, right? If you're starting any field, you have to keep the need for making money out of the picture for a very long time. Let me explain what I mean. For example, now if you're starting a craft, you're starting a business, whatever. Let's say a business that involves skill, and cybersecurity really does involve skill. Let's say you want to open a salon and you have all the money for a salon to open the store, you have all the money to open the space. As a very wise entrepreneur, a very wise person, the first thing you would need to know how to do, at the very least, is to know how to make hair. Like you need to understand how the salon business works, barbing salon, hair making salon, whatever. Right? You need to know how this business runs. So maybe you can go and work at a salon, even though you're very wealthy, you have a lot of money, you know how to, you have the money to set up your own space. So that your business is not going to run that. You need to understand the nitty-gritties of that business first before setting up your own. So for maybe like 3 months, 6 months, whatever, you learn, you go maybe start an apprenticeship in a particular salon close to your house or whatever, and then you start learning for that long time. Learning different styles of hair, learning how the business is even being run, apart from even the skill itself. Because, yeah, you can hire people that would actually know how to do those hairs for you and make the styles for the customers, but you are the one that's in charge of your business, right? So you need to even know how to do the pricing and all of that. So all of those learning curves is something that only experience will teach you. And that applies for every other thing. You see how I likened a salon business to cybersecurity now? Now, when it comes to the cybersecurity aspect, what I'm seeing is before you think of applying for jobs, before you think of trying to make money out of cybersecurity, you should have something to offer. You should already know a lot of things. You should be very, very knowledgeable in your field. So that when these interviews come, because they will come, and interviews are not just question and answer sessions, because sometimes people think that they are question and answer sessions where maybe they can even go on AI and AI is going to tell them what the answer is. It's not so. Interview sessions, you are going to, if you're a red teamer, you're going to simulate attacks for them. You're going to, if you are a SOC analyst, you monitor, you raise tickets in simulated environments, and you'll see how you do things. I'm not telling you what I have heard, I'm telling you what I have experienced. So if you do not, and it's timed, they can see your screen, they can even control your computer. So best believe it's, and one thing you know is the more well-paying a job is, right? Most of the time, the harder the process is to even hire people, because they want the very, very best, because they're offering the very best. It's very simple, right? So for you to be able to actually achieve that thing you want, you must have done the work. You must have put in all the work it is that you can put. So please, what I'm saying here is simple. Try your best to actually learn. Not just say that you want something, you should actually put in the effort to actually achieve that thing. So build evidence for yourself, build evidence, simulate scenarios, learn. Cybersecurity is practice. Information, yes, we don't do too much of talking that much, only maybe when you're trying to relay information to the executives. You'll be doing practical work. And even if you don't do this practical work, right? If you don't do this practical work, you will not even be able to even impute in those conversations, because you'll just be lost. Because even things you're saying in the conversations, right, are things that a normal person, the kind of jokes we even make, you're not even going to understand, because you don't even do the work. So you'll be lost completely. And to avoid all of that, because people easily spot when someone is not where they're meant to be, it is very easy to notice when you do not know something. You might not know that. You might think that you're covering up, that nobody's noticing, but I promise you, people notice that. And that's the same people notice when you're good at something. And being good, you never get unnoticed. You would never get unnoticed if you're good at something. So just keep trying and keep putting in your best, because that your best is going to one day pay off. And I don't mean the one day as a motivation. No, it will soon pay off. Just the thing is, you have to make sure that you're actually putting in that your best. So the next thing is building a very strong profile. So let me tell you something, right? You as a person, for example, now, if I am not well online, right? Let me explain to you what my life would have been if I did not have LinkedIn. I'm going to use myself as a case study here. If I do not have LinkedIn, first of all, I would not be, I don't know where I'll be. Like that's how it is. I would not even be in the job I do now. The jobs I've done in the past years, I would have not done them. Maybe I would have been doing something. Maybe I would have never been in cybersecurity, because I knew about cybersecurity way before I even entered LinkedIn, and I've been learning while in uni, worked and all of that, right? But the actual jobs did come from LinkedIn. The connections did come from LinkedIn. The networks did come from LinkedIn. These people that I've taught in the past, mentorships, the companies that I worked for, the company I worked for, everything came from LinkedIn. And what is LinkedIn? How do they know about me? Nobody came to my house. Somebody knocked on my door that, oh, Messi, we see you, we know you're here. No, nobody knows you're there if you do not show people that you're there. I used to be like, back in the day, like when I was much younger, I used to be a very shy person. But now I don't have any shy bone in me. If I don't want to talk, just I don't, but like I'm not shy for any reason. So you need to know what you want, right? And know how to get there. So when I talk about building a profile, I mean build a presence online. Because that presence is what will tell your story when you're not there. I cannot always speak about myself. I mean, I'm just one person, right? But if somebody even goes online and they search for maybe female cybersecurity analysts in Nigeria, they search for female cybersecurity analysts, my name most likely would pop up. It may, do you understand? A lot of people's names would pop up as well. Nobody will know you that even if you're the best, if you do not show people that you're the best, nobody would know. Even if you do the biggest things in your house and you don't post it online, nobody is going to know. You see how people's lives change from content creation. You see someone that was doing what the world will assume as not so well, and then in a couple of, not even a couple of years is so far, maybe in a year later, 365 days later, they are living a completely different life. What is that? The power of the internet. So the internet is where everything is at. So if you don't have a presence online, you've not started doing anything. Like, I'm just being as honest as possible. Because for cybersecurity particularly, right, a field that's even the job hiring process is mostly online. I mean, it's very difficult for people to even call you in for physical interviews these days. Like, that is almost very, very, very unheard of, like in this present time, especially for everyone in cybersecurity, right? Nobody is calling you for a physical interview. And even if, let's even say that they're calling you, where would they see you to call you when they don't know you? You should build a profile, right? I'm just talking about a dormant profile where it's just your face that you have to apply for jobs and you put your picture there, right? No. You need to use your LinkedIn properly. Like, when I say use your LinkedIn properly, you have to make posts. As you're starting out, tell people what it is you're doing. It's your learning journey. Share your projects, everything you're doing. Let the world know that this is what I am doing. Don't be shy to share your success stories. If you scroll on LinkedIn, 70% of the things you see online is I'm excited to. Why are they excited? Why are they telling you? They want you to know that this is what they've achieved. You want the world to know that yes, I'm doing something with my life. I'm what I do. It is very important for people to know that you're doing very well, because people like to associate people that they don't make moves, people that are not excelling. If you're doing badly, people would not want to associate you. That's just the hard job going to things by telling you that you can. No, 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 no. If you're doing well in life, people would hardly want to associate with you. You can tell yourself a different story, but I'm just, like I said, I'm not here to motivate you or tell you, or I don't know, I'm just being as blunt as I should. So use internet wisely. Use LinkedIn very, very well. Use LinkedIn properly. LinkedIn can take you places you never thought existed. I'm not going to take it from me. Change your life. Literally will change. So it's very true. And even if nothing seems to be working at first, continue, because things will not work at first. That is almost something that's the kind of mindset I like to have whenever I start something, right? And it's really helped me, because I always kind of expect the worst in the early stage. That way, even if it go badly, I'm not hurt. Just think about it. If you're starting a project, if you're starting anything, if you're even trying to get a certification, there was a certification exam I wrote last year. I cried at some point. It was reading for it was brain, because I was working as well. I was reading, it was something. And obviously, nobody likes to feel, but I particularly hate it so much. So because of that, right, I know that this is something that I cannot play with. Like, I have to pass this thing. I cannot be making an excuse that, oh, I'm working, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. If I feel it, right, I failed this. Whatever it was, is that you failed. That you failed. People like to say, oh, you failed is that you failed. Even if you have reasons for failing. That is just, like I said, a reason for failure. So you have to live your life in a way that you do not have reason for failure. You do not give excuses for, okay, this is where it's not working, things are not working for me. Things are no, 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 no. A lot of people that you see, right, that are doing very well in their lives, things were not working for them when they started. So you should not have that kind of victim mentality. If things are not working for you, force things to work for you. If you're learning to understand it, text people on the internet. I know how many people DM me, they asking me, please, can I start this project? I was working on this thing and then something happened. They don't know me from anywhere, but they saw me and they feel like I could be of help to them. I could give them maybe advice, I could give them maybe guidance or whatever it is. And then I help as much as it lies within my reach, right? So make sure that you are reaching out to people. If you have any questions, do whatever it is you do so that you would keep moving. Motion is very important. But yeah, I don't want to linger on that. Yeah, certifications are fine. Certifications are very good. But what I tell you is projects carry more with, especially as a beginner. Projects to show that this person, like, I need to invest in this person. Just like now, you're a founder. If you were a founder and you're trying to hire people to your organizations, and maybe you're hiring entry-level people, right, in your cybersecurity organization, cybersecurity team. If you see someone without, two of them, no experience at all, but you see someone that is always posting consistently, maybe he's doing 30 days challenge or whatever, he's always posting consistently, on LinkedIn what he's doing. He created this lab, he built this, he simulated this attack, he did this on Wireshark, he did that. And then you see someone else that doesn't post anything at all. Like, they don't post anything at all. Maybe they just like and comment. Who do you want to work with? Who would you believe more? Because first of all, you don't even have any background of them in terms of they don't even have background. So you want someone that has potential, and who he has more potential is very clear. We all know who has more potential. That is the person that obviously documents his journey. And you want him that's fun. The other guy might even be learning a lot more. He might even be smarter. But nobody knows. Nobody knows he's smarter. I don't know he's smarter because he doesn't show us anything. Evidence. Evidence is key in anything you're doing. Even working environment, evidence is very, very important. And cybersecurity is no different. And you have to be consistent. I can tell you everything in the world, but consistency is the beginning. Consistency is very important. If you say that you're going to be posting on LinkedIn, make sure that you're consistent with it. Don't forget, no matter what happens. Last week, something happened to me. I couldn't post throughout last week. I was so restless. Like, I was just frustrated. Like, oh my God, how is this happening? This. Like, I was not happy I couldn't do things because I just felt like I felt physically challenged, but yeah, we're not going to go into that. Anyway, what I'm saying is you should loving what you're doing is what is going to give you all of these things I said. Because if you don't love something, you cannot be consistent, no matter what anybody tells you. In fact, you won't be angry, like, oh my God, why always me? But no, you're not going to obviously doing that. So now let us go to land your first. We've talked about things, and I even told you that you should not try to get jobs first, which is true, which is right. But I didn't really think you're going to do a career here, so definitely you need a job. But I'm going to be very, very good. You will apply and apply and apply and apply, and you'll get so many. Unfortunately, we are sorry to inform you. We regret to inform you. So sorry to know you're going to get a lot of rejections, but that should not weigh you down. You will get rejected. So if you're someone that's afraid of rejections, I'm sorry for you, but you will actually get so many. No matter how good you are, even if you do all these things I told you, you will still get rejected. You would most likely you will get a lot of rejections. That's just the truth, right? Funny enough, you might even get so many rejections, and then maybe someone will DM you for a job, and that's how you start your first role. That's how life happens. It might not work exactly the way you plan it. You apply for Japan, then the job. No, you might apply for so many jobs and they will not respond. And then maybe one randomly someone texts you and then tells you that they really love your profile, this, that you like to work with you. You understand? That's how life works. But either way, you realize that something in one of these things I mentioned did pay off. It might not be the fact that you applied for a lot of jobs that paid off. It might be the fact that you were showing up on LinkedIn and then somebody reached out to you. So this is why you have to keep doing any and everything to make sure that you stay relevant. So being rejected, right, is part of the process. It is I've seen people that are looking for jobs for 2 years, they're still looking for their dream job. They're still looking for it's not even their dream job is even a fast stretch. They're still looking for a job, right? And the thing that makes a difference here is that between applying for jobs the regular way and positioning yourself for jobs to come to you is that when jobs come to you, you have to. And let me explain. When it comes to even negotiations for salary, right? When jobs come to you, you have a wider room to negotiate what you will be paid because they're the ones that want you. You did not meet them first. They came to you. So they'll be offering more than when a large pool of people are getting a role. What do? They obviously offer. They obviously, because it's business, they will definitely want the best value for the least price. So that is why I said positioning yourself. That is when you realize that all those times you showed up on LinkedIn, you made those posts is what actually led up to this moment. But now we are still going to look at applying for jobs because you cannot say because you are documenting your journey that you are not going to apply for jobs. You're not going to do that because even your CV, even though that would help you to add to your CV and then you position as the best kind of right. Let's leave jobs. Even if you have your job, you are working already. Consistently still documenting what you do online, constantly showing up online will help you in various ways. You can get invited for events. The other day, one of my mentees, she texted me that she got one of these laptops by Black, so they gave her a laptop because of her and everything. I was the one that helped her to do that whole profile, everything. Yeah, she's my mentee. She's doing very well for herself. She's going to job. She's doing great. This is because that girl is one of the people I've met in my life, knows exactly what she wants. They know exactly what she wants, and she doesn't stop until she gets it. If we have a meeting, right, 10 minutes in time, she's already there. She is already waiting for the meeting room. Like, proof is a professional platform. The whole goal of this is professionalism, right? So even if people are always professional LinkedIn, it's a professional platform that is obviously used globally, right? You also need to know how to tailor your CVs. Description, your CV saying an entirely different thing. It does not align. You also have to make sure that your CV is that CV very, very steady. That is what you have to also do. And then you also have to network, because networking is very important. I've made friends that like over 2 years, and then I felt like if I felt so happy, and we have worked for a very long time, but that was just last year. We happened to like meet each other, right? And friendship led into so many things, and that's just one. There's so many people I've met on this internet that have opened the door, helped my life, and I helped theirs as well. A lot of people that I work with, I've never seen them before, but I work. You may not know how things will change typical, but it's not going to come to you that way. It's just someone that just that maybe you guys are communicating, and the communication may be different. It now became a kind of like to that job. Because people say there are no jobs, right? But like I have, you need to also know how to like confidently explain what you do, because I said interviews will come, and it's not just going to be talking interviews. Interview in action. You have to show that you said that you are a cybersecurity analyst. So you said that you're an application security engineer. Show us what you can. Nobody is going to hire you just because of what you said. Anybody can say anything. I can come on here and tell you any single thing, anything. Try really. What is the proof that this person is actually? That's what people want to see. Proof, 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 proof. That is literally what people, and especially for cybersecurity, because I mean, you know how it is. So now let's look at sustaining your career. How can you sustain your career as cybersecurity? especially cybersecurity professional, getting in is one thing, right? But staying in is another. I know people that have done boot camps, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. They've done boot camps and then suddenly they they've given up. And it's difficult. I'm not getting any jobs. I'm not getting anything. Like anything in this world, right? Getting it is not easy. But now, let's say you've gotten it. How can you now actually? Because the first thing is avoid burnout. You will be burnt out. That's the truth. You will be burnt out. Because cybersecurity is not your regular field. There's so much pressure that comes with it. Matter of fact, there can be some days where there will not even be pressure. I'm not even going to lie. There's some days that it's cool, some days that there's no problem, but there's some days that you might even have incidents. We don't sometimes even talk about and have your organization can have attacks in your organization. Organization might can get breached. Maybe might not even be your organization, but your client organization might get breached and you're responsible because maybe or something. How do you do those situations? So burnout is definitely going to happen, but you need how to manage it. You need to know how to. So you have to know. You have to learn to take a break from work, relax, enjoy yourself, live your life, right? And also, now don't try to once. If you know so much, you don't know anything. Literally, like you will hit, like you will have a job, or you will not master anyone. Or master of knowledge. Because you like that you feel like especially so far they know so many things. Why is that they are still where they are? It's because they lack direction. And if when I started this session, I didn't even expect for this to get this long anyway, but I started with direction. I emphasize greatly on your direction because your direction is what makes you, what takes you to where you're going. Because all of us, we're still going somewhere. Nobody is at their climax. Nobody here is at their climax. Victor is not climax. I am not my class of Francisca. Nobody here is on their climax. You and I not even close to get who can you name most believe he's not even climax. He has more, he's still working, still putting in effort, right? So which is why you have to have the direction so you know where you want to be. Give a plan, create a 5-year career plan and follow it straight. Even if things don't seem to be working. Follow that plan, like it's not feasible. Your vision has to only make sense to you. So far it makes sense to you, it's enough. If you dream it happen, really, it will definitely happen. So like I said, you have to early. You just to that go very deep. If she say this is a threat intelligence and this is a cybersecurity research of cybersecurity research, that research they should call you. You're a speaker. They know that you're a speaker. You're an analyst. They know that anything that has to do with analyzing threats, you should be the first person that you're calling. They should call you. Application security call you. You are the best in hacking. They will not anyone because as if you know in any when I emphasize on creating a profile, a presence for reputation. So how do people who have never seen you, they know you? They go through your profile. 9 out of 10 reach out to your profile. Almost 10 out of 10 really because they reach out to that they've never about. So they go through seeing your you're seeing your comments, you're seeing your posts, you're seeing what builds your brand as a person. That's what tells your story. That's what builds okay, this person has so many and it connects dots and the dots align you that oh we want you to work with us. We see you. That's how things work. That's why you see oh there's a reason why people decide to become content creators, to become influencers. If they want to have impact, they want to put it in the world. So being a shy person, being a person is oh my god, I don't want to put my face on the camera. Everybody, man, woman, animal has their face on the camera. So you should make sure that the camera is not something you're scared of. It doesn't have to be your personality being on the camera, no. But you should not be shy of it. You should not be scared of it. You should not be yourself out there. Because if you're in your life, you remain a hidden gem. And being a hidden gem is not it is. They'll never know you're a gem. So you'll just be hidden. It's just the truth. And you definitely don't want that. So I have spoken a lot, and I really hope that the things I've said in one way or the other, it has probably impacted your life. It has changed one, even if it just changed it mostly, that's enough for me. I know I said earlier I didn't want to turn this to motivation, but I'm sure at this point I have turned, but that's all right. So I'm going to give you like my own personal advice, and that my personal advice would be that you should focus on one path early, even if you don't do it tomorrow. What it is, among the things Messi said, what it is do I want to do? Which kind of Cybersecurity do I want to focus on? If you already know your path, that is means that you already have best. Spend less time watching other people. You keep scrolling on the internet and just seeing people that be that way you want to be started somewhere. They started somewhere. You see a select to the beginning of their maybe social media journey. You see that there's growth. The person they were in 2020 is very different from the in 2026. You will see visible growth in the way they look, the way they act, the way they present their thing they did was that they wanted to, not tomorrow, not next week. Once you see yourself procrastinating things, just simple, you're already almost on the path for failure. So make sure that you start doing just this is the part of cybersecurity I want to focus on. It doesn't have to be in the pattern. So you can research, what do I want to do? This documents everything you learn. Show up. Show up. This is give your career a metric progression instead of an arithmetic progression. What is the difference between an arithmetic and geometric progression? Arithmetic progression is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're bumping protocols because of what? People see you. People admire you. If you push the internet, anybody can reach out to you. There's no limit to where you can get to if you're showing up. But if you lock yourself limited, so there's nothing else I can do. Like you're already limited. But if you keep showing off the big, the bad, everybody sees you. So you're not limited. You're not limited. But even Google, if they search for you on the internet, they can find you there because you have a presence. But if you don't have a presence, you have no personality. Whatever you think, you're thinking it within yourself. But what will people say when you're not in the room? That's what makes you as an individual. And if you decide if you want to have a sustainable career, the reason I decide on this is because, like I said, I believe that everyone here is going to excel in your career. Everyone here is going to do very great, right? So this is why I'm not just teaching you how to break in. Because yes, you will get in. I'm definitely sure of that. So the matter of fact that you've attended this session, you definitely will break in, right? But how will you remain in? That's what I also want to emphasize. Because it's one thing to start, and standing the test of time, remaining where you are, greatness. That's what actually makes you to last. You can never start a job to do and you do well, you make some money, and then money is money. At the end of the day, it finishes regardless. No matter whatever, it will finish. It will, in fact, so it's life. And how can you create a career that will sustain you? Sustain you. That's what I'm here for. That's what I want to talk about. So, like I said, document everything you learn and waiting to feel ready because you will never feel ready. There is no way you feel ready. There is no way you feel ready. All of the challenges I had, for example, in this thing that just happened that we're about to have this meeting, I never anticipated that I would join the meeting via my laptop and the next thing I would have the challenge I encountered just now. I never envisaged because I finished the meeting short before now. And I use my laptop, right? So it's just very funny when I saw all of these things happening. But you have to make solutions. You have to find solutions to your problem. You cannot just, oh, it's working, it's joining. I'm having challenges. Say, please let's reschedule, or maybe those are excuses, and it will never take you anywhere. You become unreliable. People will not want to you because you're the head of excuses. So what I'm saying is, don't wait until you're ready. And if challenges come, handle them as they come. Make sure that what you say you want to get done, you will get it done. Take your career very seriously, because that is a core of who you are as a woman, as a man, as whoever. Make sure that you take your career, because at the very least, your career is where you spend a long time. You But even when you age, that your career will still be in your life, because that is a huge part of your personality. So please and please, all I'm saying is start today. Give us an assignment. I did not just tell you today generally. Before the end of today, before you sleep, before if morning, afternoon, whatever time it is where you are, right? Make sure that as soon as the session finishes, you get a pen and a paper, you write down this and this is what I want to, and this is the cybersecurity field I want to work in. If that's completely, go on Google, search, and do an extensive research on these fields, and choose one that is likely to your personality. Which one will I like? Which will I enjoy? And pick that one, and then you go deep. Don't rest to achieve what you want, because, like I said, after this course, something would come up, because it's life. Something will come up that will distract you from this. Like I said, even after now, would happen that would distract you from even cybersecurity. But lose sight of to become what you want. So yeah, that leads me to the end of my session. So yeah, just start, just learn. You would adjust. Just make sure that no matter what happens today, you don't procrastinate. And show everyone for your time. I'm really, really grateful for having you all here. And again, this is the time for your questions. Sorry. This is the time for your questions. If you have any questions, kindly let me know. Any questions?
Thank you so much,
You're
Miss
welcome.
Mercy. That was a very insightful session.
My
Really.
pleasure.
Guys, please, if you have questions, please let me check the
So if
chat.
you have any questions, let me know. I want to attend to them. If you have any challenges you're facing, if you're already working in cybersecurity, if you have any challenges, kindly let me know what the challenges are. If you have any problems, kindly state them.
Okay, I think we have one here. From Vincent. He said, good presentation. I would like to ask what aspect of cybersecurity aligns with DevOps engineering. I'm already into cloud security and DevOps, and I want to do something that goes hand in hand with it, please. Though basically, I like SOC and threat intelligence.
This is why I talked about direction. Okay. Okay, so you like a lot of things, and we're going to start from there. So, Vincent, I believe you're still here. Okay, yeah, I can see you raising your hand. So, you asked me what aspect of cybersecurity aligns with DevOps. You said you're already into cloud, and let me look at the question again. You're already into cloud security and DevOps, and you want something that goes hand in hand with it. What I would say is you're already in cloud security, right? From what you just said. Focus on cloud security. That's what I would tell you. You said you like trading intelligence. You're like, I even like cloud security, so I even like DevOps, but you see, I'm not doing it. Because why? I want my direction to continue. So what I would say is you like a lot of things, and I've said that before. And I don't want direction to become your problem moving forward. So just pick a path. You've mentioned so many paths here. You are already even in a path. So if you would ask me, I would say that you should focus on what you're already doing. You should focus on exactly what it is you're doing. That cloud security is broad. Yes, cloud security is in fact broad. So if you focus on cloud security, there is no limit you go. The internet cloud is literally where every organization is moving towards now. So people that can secure the cloud are people that are literally in very high demand, right? So please take cloud security very seriously. But I'll also answer your question, so it would not be as though I called it bluff, right? You asked for the aspect of cybersecurity aligns with DevOps. The part of cybersecurity aligns with DevOps most closely is DevSecOps, and is the short for development, security, and operation. So it's not a separate field so much as like that. It's actually not separate from what you're already doing, right? It's just a kind of like an approach that integrates security directly into the DevOps like life cycle. So instead of treating it as maybe a final checkpoint, so that is what DevSecOps simply means, right? It's the kind of like approach that integrates security into DevOps. That's what it is. So that is the field that aligns most. So you can make more research on it, but it aligns. It has to do with secure CID, what's it called? CI/CD pipelines. Sorry, it has to be secure CI/CD pipelines. It has to do with IAC, infrastructure security. It also has to do with application security, which also goes hand in hand with cloud security. It also has to do with container and cloud. So, like I said, you're in the right place. But like I said, I didn't want to call your question bluff. I need to make you understand that this is why I'm saying that you are in the right place and you don't need to start changing. And your love for SOC and threat intel is very good. But please, don't pivot into that. I'm doing SOC, but don't change from what you're already doing. Just make sure that you stick to what you're already doing. So you can, to bring a balance to everything, you can focus on DevSecOps. And like I said, it's just an integration of security and DevOps. So it's not even a new path, but that is the path that envelopes everything you want. Do you understand? Or do you have further questions? Vincent, are we clear? Or you need me to go further?
Okay, I guess that's clear since he has not responded. So
All
we have
right.
another question here from Damilari
Okay, he said
Lawal.
he's fine.
He
I'm
said,
glad you're fine. And please don't change. Remain where you are. Remain where you are. Okay. Who asked the
so
question?
Damilari said, yeah, thanks for the awesome session. How can someone build strong cybersecurity portfolio? Can our online documentation serve as our portfolio?
Okay. Are you with me?
Yes, we hear you.
Sorry, I'm seeing a different thing from everybody. Anyway, Big Sam, I believe Francisca will get to you. You said how we can build. Let me go over your question again. Sorry. How can we build? How can someone build strong cybersecurity portfolio? Can our online documentation serve as our portfolio? Yes, your online documentation can serve as your portfolio. In fact, it is your first portfolio. Those your LinkedIn posts, those are what is your portfolio in the first place? It's showing that this is what you are doing. This is proof. Portfolio is proof of work, basically, right? That's what it is, at least to the best of my knowledge. So the way you can, apart from your posts, which I said can serve as your portfolio, right? Another thing that can serve is you can work with GitHub. Yes, you can, but that is mostly for all those that are into codes and all. But yes, you can also work with GitHub. GitHub is also a very good way to um document what you're doing, right? So when you make your posts on LinkedIn, you can also put stuff in your portfolio on GitHub and the likes. So you add it in your repo and the likes, right? So yeah, we understood. But I'm even going to still lay more emphasis on what you're documenting online because these days not many people go to GitHub as such, especially for non-coding people, non-developers. But regardless, GitHub is still a very good place to document, but take your LinkedIn documentation very, very seriously because, like I said, it's a proof of work. Do you understand me, Damilari?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I understand.
All right. All right. Do I have any other questions?
Okay, We also have another question, but let's take one from the people requesting to speak. Big Sam, please, can you unmute and ask your question? I see that you want to speak.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Yes,
you.
yes, we hear you.
All right. Good evening, Mr. Messi. Thank you so much for the amazing session. However, I have like 2 to 3 questions. I don't know if probably I can just ask the
Can you
same
please be
time.
more audible, please?
Can you hear me
Thank
now?
you.
Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay. I said thank you for the wonderful session. However, I have like 2 to 3 questions. Probably I'll just ask together.
Yes, please
Now,
do.
the first one, over time, because I'm actually coming from a medical background. I'm trying to switch into cybersecurity,
From a
and
medical background, right?
yeah.
Okay,
And
this is new for me. Go on.
okay, we've heard a whole lot of things that if you are going to cybersecurity, probably you don't need a degree or something like that. However, the workforce outside, the job outside, sometimes they do request for bachelor's degree in cybersecurity or computer science or any related courses. Some, majority of the work out there. And I want to ask, from your own experience, how do you think we can, however, overcome that? That's one. Two is the present cybersecurity landscape of Nigeria now. What is your own, should I say, idea or perspective to it? Because we've seen some back-to-back attack, and I was actually on more like a four stakeholder session, like by the Ministry of Information, something like that online. And when one lady was actually trying to say that the attacks that happened were actually the one that happened, let's say like a year or 2 years ago, that the attackers just released the data like a new one and everything. So, what is your own idea or perspective about the present cybersecurity posture of Nigeria? Now, the third one, sorry, we know that not everyone can actually go into SOC. Not everyone loves SOC. Let me put it like that. But um, the job as a SOC analyst to pen testing is actually very, very different.
I
One
didn't
in
get that. The
the
job
sense,
too. Sorry, I didn't get
like
that. What?
the ratio of the job available for SOC analyst to ethical hacker is more like 9:1, 9 to SOC and 1 to ethical hacking, because it is kind of frustrating whenever you're looking for roles and all what you're seeing is threat intelligence, SOC analysis, monitoring, and every other thing. So what is your own advice regarding to how we can be able to like overcome that? Or probably should we go for the SOC should we go for the SOC work while having ethical hacking experience? Thank you.
Okay, this is a lot, but we're going to look at them one by one and also take note of time so that we can also answer others. And if I remember correctly from what you said, the first question was, how do you navigate have not having a computer science or cybersecurity degree, right? First things first is I would not say that you need a cybersecurity or computer science degree to get into cybersecurity, because most of the people, right, that I've mentored in the past, that I've tutored my students, all of that, majority of them did not even have any computing. Some did not even have computing knowledge. Let's even start from there, right? But they were still able to scale through. So you don't need a computer science or computer engineering or cybersecurity degree. And yeah, you mentioned that a lot of job descriptions have that as requirements. Well, one thing I would say is I know a lot of people like that you don't need a degree at all. But I think you need a degree. Do you know why I would say that? The job market is competition. It's competition for who is better than who. And at the end of the day, the recruiters want the best person, right? So having a degree, even if it's degree in animal science, like I'm just saying, for example, right? It's better than having no degree at all. I don't know if you get what I mean, because sometimes you see jobs, they ask, are you a BSc holder? They want to know. They're not necessarily asking you if you have cybersecurity degree, computer degree, that I know, yes, some jobs do ask for those, and those job listings are mostly written by HR and not even a technical team, and also used as like filtering mechanism so that they restrict, make the requirements strict, right? But regardless, like I said, the goal from this, the takeaway from this training is to position you as someone that people would be coming to, and not even someone that is going to meet people, applying for jobs. Even jobs should come to you. I'm not using myself only as a case study. I have met people that people reached out to them. Ask people, like, it's not even just a meeting. Go online and ask people every single day. Recruiters reach out to people, whether you're even in your current role, people will still be reaching out to you, even when you have a job, right? So what I'm saying is that's your idea, the idea that you have, that you do not have to have it. What you should actually have is a strong portfolio. That's those projects and documentation. That is what is important. One thing I would always stand on is that people will address you by what you show you are. What do you show? Every day I post, everybody knows Messi is into cybersecurity. If I wake up tomorrow now and I start posting, maybe I start posting everything about project management, talking about project management, doing everything project management, in the first few weeks, months, it might be weird. People will start asking me questions. Oh, you are switching your career, this, that. But if after a whole year or 2 years plus, I consistently focus that I'm doing and I'm documenting my project management, do you know that everybody will start to refer to me as a project manager, because that is what I showed them and said that this is what I do, right? So those things, those documentation is very important. Your certifications also, this is where they come to play. They would help you. For someone that doesn't have any computing background, certifications would help you a lot. Take your CompTIA Security Plus, ISC2, especially for entry level, they are very, very important and they are usually required. So when you have the certifications, people obviously know that not everybody studied. Matter of fact, it's not even about security. Most people don't even do what they studied in university, right? So yeah, you do not need your computer or cybersecurity degree to be a security analyst, security specialist. And then your next question, I believe it had to do with the situation of Nigeria and security, cybersecurity in the Nigerian market. What I would always advise people, because I like to be very practical. I think last month, I attended a conference, a cybersecurity conference in Nigeria and all of that. When it comes to technology, Nigeria is not particularly at the forefront of it, right? When it comes to cybersecurity, and also not at the forefront, as we all know. I'm trying to pick my words very well anyway. What I'd say is, as a person, you should not tie your identity to Nigeria alone, because I believe that you want to get the best out of whatever it is you're doing. So I always advise people to look beyond your locality, look beyond your country, look beyond your jurisdiction, look beyond your immediate environment. Position yourself for global opportunities, position yourself for opportunities that will attract people from different walks of life, Nigeria, outside Nigeria, people in diaspora, everywhere. So you should not be limited. You do not give yourself a skill that would only work in your country. No. So you should not only be applying for jobs because it's in Nigeria. You can also apply for jobs. A lot of people work for jobs in Nigeria and are working remotely. I'm sure you all know that. So you should not tie your identity to Nigeria. If we start a conversation about technology and security, cybersecurity in Nigeria, that would be a whole new event. And I'm not really, really sure that event would finish soon, right? So what I would just advise you, because like I said, this has to do with you as a person and not the country. When we talk about the country, it's a whole other conversation altogether. So I would still say what I said before. Position yourself in such a manner that people from all walks of life would reach out to you. There was a lady that came online and said that what's his name? The CEO of Microsoft reached out to her via LinkedIn. It happens, right? And she's an African. She's living in an African country. I think it was Ghana also. That job took her out of her country, relocated her all the way. I'm not telling you like a gist. I'm not making up something. I'm telling you something that I saw online. And I also went to do my own research. Like I actually now went to check it, and it actually happened, right? So what I'm saying is, you are more than your country. You are more than whatever Nigeria is. So make sure that you portray yourself in such a way that everywhere in the world you are standard with a standard cybersecurity specialist, cybersecurity analyst, cybersecurity, whatever field it is, you are standard globally. That's where the certifications come to play. I hope you understand. And there's a last question I think I remember you asking was when it comes to what's it called? When it comes to the ratio between SOC to pen testing. This is something I usually tell only my students, but I'm going to tell you guys. What I usually say is when you're starting something that you don't have control over, this might say that this is a bit different from what I said before. But oh well, I'll still say it either way. I used to say that when you're starting something that you don't have control over, you don't have control over the job market, especially as a beginner, you have zero control over the job market, right? So you should not put yourself in a box. That's the exact word I usually say. Don't put yourself in a box. You are starting. And you know one thing? SOC is broad. I know it. I'm a cybersecurity.
Okay, I think her network is bad. So while we wait for her for time, I would call on our community manager, Mr. Ostus, to come give any announcements if there is any. Mr. Ostus, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's a very wonderful one. We have had a very long session and it's very, very insightful. Francisca, thank you for the wonderful work you're doing. And for our attendees, we sincerely appreciate everyone that is on this call. As you all know, we have started or we are making our plans for the VA Cybersecurity Mentorship Cohort 3. And the applications are all over. You can check out our LinkedIn handles. You can check out our community. One quality thing about this is that once you are a beginner and you are part of this, be sure that you are going to learn a whole lot. Be sure that you are going to learn a whole lot. And for some of you who have already registered, do well to invite. Can I go on?
Yes,
Are
please.
we there? Yeah. Are you asking a question?
We lost you, so we carried on with announcements.
Okay. So uh, anyway, all I was just saying is that you should start with what is available, and then from there you can pivot to your dream field. So far as you want to start, because SOC is a field that you can learn a lot from. You can learn a whole lot from SOC. You can learn various things because SOC, you see everything. You see everything in SOC. So if you start from SOC, you can move on to other fields as time goes on. So that's it. I hope you
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sure he got that.
are.
Forgotten the person's name. Okay, Big Sam.
Yeah, thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Miss Mercy. This has been so insightful. I learned so much.
Okay.
One thing that stuck with me is focusing on one part and documenting as I learn and practicalize and everything. It means so much to me and to everyone that's been listening. Mr. Austin, please carry on.
Okay, thank you very much. And then thank you as well, Miss Mercy, for this wonderful work you have done today. Okay, so as I was saying, you can look at the chat box. We have dropped the links for all our social media handles, and we implore you to take advantage of it. Join the social media handles that you have in the chat box. As you all know, we are very, very big on cyber awareness. There are a lot of things you might not learn in the covers of the books, but as you expose yourself to the activities of our social media handles, you will get to learn a lot. And then secondly, Our cybersecurity 100 days challenge is coming to a close. Today is day 97, I guess. Yes, day 97. If you have not joined, you have a lot to learn. Whether it is theory, whether it is practical, you have a lot to learn. Please take advantage of it. Join us on the YouTube channel, and you will have yourself to thank for doing so. So at this point, I want to sincerely appreciate everyone that joined, and we hope to see you guys very soon within the mentorship. God bless you. Mr. Victor, if you are there, maybe you can help us with the closing remark if you are there, please.
All right.
Everyone.
Good day, everyone. I believe that we've all learned a lot. Myself, I've learned a lot. Yeah. And I love the fact that we didn't just listen, we were able to ask questions as well. That was mind blowing and beautiful. So please, once again, let's celebrate our speaker, the person of Mercy. Thank you so much, Mercy, for that amazing session. We so much, appreciate that, and we celebrate you for that.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
There is no. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. There's not so much to talk about again, about for the closing remarks we've all learned. What I would just say is go ahead and apply all those things you've learned. It's not about learning, right? It is not of whom that of him, that listeneth. Like if I would write my own version, right? That listeneth is of him that do it, right? Is of him that apply it, that do it. So please go ahead and try to apply some of those things that you've learned. They are not just words. They are not just um, words from a webinar, from just a random webinar. These are things that you need. As I mentioned to you earlier, when she was, preparing to come up on stage, I said that she is a mentor. All right. So she knows the direction to take things. She knows how to explain things to you so that you can understand better. And you could see how she beautifully delivered her speech. So please, I'm begging you, I want to assume that you have taken notes, and in case you are busy, you're in transit, you couldn't take any note, the video would be on YouTube. I think at the moment it's been live streamed on YouTube as well, so you can just check it out, right? Check it out. You can rewatch it until you're able to conceive, until you're able to number one conceptualize everything that has been said, and at the same time you've been able to conceive something inside of you that can sort of push you forward or propel you as you go in this journey. So please do not take this for granted. And as Ostus had mentioned, we have our cybersecurity mentorship coming up soon. So it is something you apply for it. In case you've not applied for it, so it's going to be very amazing, right? Initially, it happened to be 3 months, but now we are reducing it to 2 months because we really want to accommodate more people and be able to attend to more people because we saw that 3 months is taking a lot of time. So you might not be wondering that since it is now 1 month, that means you're not going to learn a lot. It's going to be rigorous, right? In fact, I don't advise people to apply if they know that they are not going to be available. So it's going to be very, very rigorous. It's going to be something that you are going to learn a lot from. So please look forward to that. And also, I don't know if one can help with Mercy's LinkedIn handle. So you guys should follow her. All right. So follow her, engage her posts. I've seen some of her posts, they are amazing. She's someone you cannot trivialize. I mean, you cannot trivialize what she does, and you cannot trivialize what she put out there. So I recommend her post for you. So try to follow her, try to engage her post going forward. It's something that you are not going to regret. So thank you so much. Lastly, I want to appreciate the team behind this. The organizers, including the moderator, that is Fransica, and all the people behind the scenes that are putting in efforts to ensure that this works. Many thanks to all of you, including Amostos. So thank you so much, guys, for being a part of this as well and for staying true and listening till the end. So thank you. Hopefully, when next we're going to talk, I'll be hearing your testimonies. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your weekend.